Hello, everyone. Good evening, and thank you all for joining. Today we have Pragyan with us, who is one of the lead designers at Axelerant. He is an entrepreneur as well, and apart from that, if you look at his journey, it has been very exciting. So, welcome today, Pragyan. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me. It's great. It's a great opportunity for me to
Yeah,
be here.
lovely. No, we'll just introduce our concept, remote revolution, a bit, and then we'll jump on to the session. It'll just take a couple of minutes. In the
Mhm.
meanwhile, for our audiences, we also have a question and answer session after a few of our questions are completed. So whoever has any questions, they can type it in the chat whenever they feel they have a question. We'll cover the top questions that we can cover during the later part of the session. So with that out of the way, we at Uplers make hiring simple, reliable, and faster for global companies. So on one hand, we have top global companies who are looking to hire top Indian talents, and they are from tech and digital backgrounds. So talents like top designers, digital marketers, and of course software developers are a part of our network, and we facilitate an engagement between top global companies with top Indian talents. Uh, so moving on to uh, the next one. But yeah, so we are conducting a series called Remote Revolution. In this series, we have top tech leaders and digital leaders from across the industry who are all successful in their respective fields come. And they are sharing their thoughts about the hiring process and how and what kind of questions are asked in the interview, what kind of traits they seek, and as individuals, how we should kind of prepare ourselves to succeed in getting top remote jobs. So that's about this series. In this series, we have 8 power pack sessions. So two of those have completed earlier. We had an engineering manager named Manjunath from Atlassian who took the first session, started off the series. Then we had the director of engineering Wayne Haber from GitLab who covered the interview process and what traits are required to succeed in a remote global environment in global teams at GitLab. And today we are very privileged to have Pragyan, who is going to talk about how how designers and people from the creative field can succeed in getting top global opportunities within Accelerant. And apart from that, what skills are required to succeed in any global remote company as a designer. So that's what the focus is for today's session. Without any further ado, would hand it over to Pragyan to cover his journey. It's a very interesting journey, right? I'll take the liberty to share a few things about Pragyan. He'll be too humble to cover all of those, so I'll take that liberty. But Pragyan started his career as a techie. He has been into data sciences and all the other software programming stuff, and then he shifted his career to design. So he's a real example of a person from a coding background or a data analytics background shifting to a design background and thriving. And apart from that, he is a biker. He is a Thai. Uh, Muay Thai. I don't know how to pronounce it,
Yeah, Muay
but
Thai.
Muay Thai, Muay Thai champion, and so much beyond that. I mean, it's difficult to remember his hobbies humanly. It's like counting stars, you know. But yeah, that's all he is, and it's all about managing between work and your hobbies in a remote setting. So yeah, over to you, Pragyan. Eager to know about your role at Accelerant.
Yeah. So hello everyone. So I am Pragyan from Guwahati, Assam. And as you said, like I was a backend developer. Like I am a computer science engineering guy. Started off as a backend developer and then into data analytics. And then I thought, although I love this job, I may not be able to. I may not be interested in continuing the thing for the next 40 years. So I just left my job. I started traveling. I learned a lot about myself, like what I like, really like. I like to be in the artistic domain. And so graphic designing was one of the things that I've been practicing since my engineering days, because like during engineering, if you are into engineering, you know that no one studies, right, except during the exam part. So I was one of those. So uh, during my college days, I was like invested in animation, graphics, VFX, all those stuff, whatever I could see, whatever interested me. And then after I left my job, I started traveling. I had this revelation that I like this artistic domain. So graphic designing happened, and then here I am as a graphic designer, full-time graphic designer. Uh, I see the people program side of things. Like Axelerant has, like I work in the marketing department in Axelerant. In Axelerant, we have two domains in marketing: demand program and people program. Demand program specifically looks into the sales part, or like the project part, or the events, or anything like that. And people program is more related to the people side of things, like our people, like the employees in here. And also like recruitment also, we oversee the what people get in. So like we target those. And also we like people program, you can also mention it like that we focus on the cultural side of Accelerant. So I oversee the people programs, like anything that goes into like social media related to culture, it goes from my side. So that's how have been my journey in Accelerant for the last 2 years in here. So yeah.
Yep. No, awesome. That's amazing to know. And yeah, now jumping right into our agenda today, right? So we want to cover all of us here, right? All the people who have joined us, and there are hundreds of thousands of people who want to build global successful careers, right? And a lot of them are also into designing UI UX. They want to be product designers. They want to excel in graphic designing and stuff, right? uh, if they want to get into a successful top remote company, right? What kind of approach they need to have? How does the hiring typically work? How should one prepare for the hiring in a company like Accelerant, for example?
So if I focus on the like hiring process in Accelerate, yeah, like interview process do evolve with time. Like my interview process was not similar to this one, but this is one of the latest ones that we are following right now. Uh, so it starts with a basic like resume screening. We usually post our jobs in LinkedIn and also in our website. So you can follow our like, LinkedIn page to stay updated there. So the basic thing that like it starts with like resume screening by the recruiters, where like your the resume and your portfolio as well. So everything will be screened based on that, because the things that we need, like we do not say that you are not skilled enough. We are more into like does your skill align with what we need right now? So that's how we like screen things. And then if you are shortlisted, then we move to the next round, which is the culture round. Culture round, in Excellent, we really focus on the culture, because uh, it also means that uh, you should be good for Excellent, and Excellent should be good for you, because everyone has their own working style, their own like thought process. Like if both of those do not align, then there'll be friction. So it's always good to have people who are aligned with our culture. For example, we value three like in Excellent we have three values: enthusiasm, kindness, and openness. So we really see that you have all those three values ingrained in you. Like for example, enthusiasm, like are you enthusiastic enough to try something new? Are you enthusiastic enough to uh, risk things? Are you enthusiastic to learn something that you have never learned before? So we look for all those things. For the kindness part, are you kind enough in sharing feedback? Are you kind enough in receiving feedback? Or maybe are you kind enough in like basic tasks, like when you are sharing a like a design brief with someone else, or you are getting a design brief from someone else? Are you kind enough to include everything there? so that the other person does not have to be in a confused state. So kindness can be implemented in a lot of ways. So we see that, do you have that? We are also really focused on the openness part. Openness as in, are you open enough to receive feedback? Are you open enough to share feedback? Also, like, are you open enough to say things like, if something is not working right, even even if our CEO is not doing something right, are you open enough to voice that? So we see that, do you have that? So based on that, and and a lot of cultural things that, like we see, like, if you're fit for Excellent or if Excellent is fit for you. Then we move to the next round, of which is the peer review, where you will be meeting all the people that you'll be working with, because if the energy do not sync, then it will be difficult for both the parties, right? So peer review is pretty important, and in this peer review, there's not a lot of questions, like, it's not an interview. It's more about knowing you, like, how are you as a person, um, and yeah, what do you like, what drives you. So there'll be a lot of questions around those, but it is usually not that technical. It is just about you, not what you can do. The next would be assignment is about, like, what are your technical skills, because you can write a lot of things on your resume, but can you actually do it? So like, if I remember, if I think about what I did, I was given two design briefs. One was make a social media recruitment post. The content was given to me, and according to our brand guidelines, do something about it. Like, there was no specific mention what you have to do. It was just mentioned that it was a social media post. It will go into Instagram. You have the branding guidelines. These are the colors that we use, and go crazy with it. And the second assignment was into motion graphics. I also mentioned that I am into, like, animation. So the other assignment was do the same thing here, or whatever you want to. So those were the two assignments that I got. After that, there'll be, like, another like, peer call, which will be with our, like, program manager and the director, because we are a small but strong team. So we need you to meet everyone, and then everyone should meet you. So in that thing, there might be some technical questions, but again, the main focus is about how you think. Even if I in my interviews, a lot of the questions were just about how I think, like, how do you solve this, how, if this is the scenario, how you will be tackling it, how, if you are stuck in like a design like dilemma, how do you deal with it. So those are the questions that I got. So things will be different, but it will be based on around that. But the main thing is that uh, ask a lot of questions, because although you will be asked a lot of questions, you also need to know, like, is Excellent fit for you, right? So asking a lot of questions also shows that you have a lot of interest. uh, this is not about Excellent, this is about every other company. If you're new, you should know that, like, you should really practice questioning that, whatever you want to have. So before the interview, set aside some time, 1 or 2 hour, go through everything that they have, stalk the whole company, and then ask whatever you want to, because that that's when you'll also get a lot of answers, that also you will be sure that you really want to work there. And those questions really helped me in choosing Accelerant. uh, so yeah, so that's how the process will go. There'll be changes, but yeah, the overall general process will be something like that. I hope that answered
Oh
the question.
yes,
Yeah.
for sure. One of the biggest eye openers for me was that even before you guys get into the technical aspects of things, right? You first
Mhm.
see a cultural fitment. And
Yes.
a lot of us intuitively feel that, hey, I am a good graphic designer. I'm going to develop my skills amazingly well and go and get the job, right? But
Mhm.
even before you're going to get to showcase your skills, your behavioral aspects
Mm.
are required, right? And what are the things that people should know or be prepared about, so that we whenever we apply for a job in Accelerant or be it any remote company, there is always going to be a cultural round either before the tech round or after the design or the tech round, right? What
Mhm.
what as human beings or applicants we should do so that our cultural aspects are also covered?
That's a good question. I would say, like after you got the job, there's a different scenario. But before that, the thing is that you have to be open enough to just for example, like even before applying for a job, if you have done work, like I'm not talking about experience because there are a lot of freshers. There might be a lot of freshers in here. Uh, Experience comes from team collaboration because like you are not doing a freelancing job. Freelancing job do not require you to collaborate with a lot of teams. Not 100%, but still you can still work alone. But when you are joining a company, you'll be collaborating with a lot of people. So anything that shows that you have collaborated before, it can be like a volunteering service. It can be like even if you are like traveling, like I do a lot of traveling, but I usually stay with the locals. I usually go out with them. I teach stuff, so that shows that I can collaborate with other people. So even if I am a, if, even if I am a fresher, I I would choose a person that have shown those collaborative skills before. Because as a fresher, you cannot expect them to have everything. But if those basic traits are there, of because at the end of the day, you'll be working with different teams from different backgrounds, from different cultures. So if you have that thing, that the skill for collaboration, that really helps. So yeah, that would be.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So basically showcasing that you are a team player, right? And you
Yes.
can fit into the culture of the company. You are an humble human being. You will be open to take feedback from people. You need to research a bit about the company, so understand why you are applying for a particular job, why that company is right for you. Align
Mhm.
yourself and then apply. So yeah, no, wonderful. That's something that makes a lot of sense. And going to step one, right? You guys are highly top rated company on Glassdoor. It's a sought after company where everyone wants to kind of work for, and you guys would be receiving hundreds of CVs, right? So how
Mhm.
do you kind of pick the top CVs that you guys want to evaluate? Is there anything that we as applicants should know while preparing our CV or a cover letter? What's your advice for us?
Although I am not in that domain of like scrutinizing the resumes or CV, what really would interest me as a person would be having a good like cover letter, because I've always seen that the resumes can speak a lot, but also it may not speak anything. But the cover letter tells your story, your personal story, like what you are as a person. So uh, you may not have any experience at all. You are just a fresh graduate. You even do not have any experience in the cultural events or anything like that. But the story that you tell about yourself there, I'm not like talking about bluffing there, but if you can tell a nice story about what your passion is, because if you don't have passion in what you are doing, then you will not reach your full potential, and also the company also will suffer. So if you can showcase that you have that uh, passion for what you are applying for, then that really stands out. That will really stand out for me. But yeah, so but from a recruiter's point of view, I am not the right person for that. So
Yeah, no, no, absolutely.
yeah.
And what's your advice on managing a portfolio, right? So you have a wonderful portfolio. You also have your personal brand, personal website where kind of people can see the other side of Pragyan, a bit more about you, right?
Mhm.
What's your advice to designers who are senior pros and have a portfolio? How they can kind of make the most out of that?
Yeah, so you can maybe move either one or two ways. One would be like dumping everything in one single place, which I did because I'm too lazy to do post in different websites and stuff, because Behance, Pinterest, or Dribble, those are really good places, places to have your portfolio. But I have been invested in a lot of different things, so I got really confused, like what where to post, and I'm lazy to just I'm not organized in that way. So what I thought, maybe I can just dump everything into one place, and I like designed one website. So I just placed everything inside that. So uh, that's how I approached. But if you are into like a specific domain, if you are really skilled in one domain, that really helps you in the way that you can actually tell a story. Like building a portfolio will be your own like it will have your own way of showing whatever you want to show. But if you are like if you have like posted something, if you have like designed a social media post or something, write about it as in what are the like design challenges that you had, that you overcome, or what what went through your head before even designing it. Do you like did you have any like design briefs with you before like starting the project? So if you can write that story behind it, then will really attract people like me, or anyone who will be like taking any decision, because at the end of the day we are all problem solvers. Be it like a programmer, be it a graphic designer, be a content writer, everyone is solving a problem. So if you can showcase what problem you have solved, that will really up your game. So that you can totally do.
Awesome. So rather than just having images and designs which are good in themselves, but then a story about where they were used, what was the
Mm,
end reason, and the purpose behind it would kind of up your game, right? Because then
yes.
the other person, a hiring manager like yourself, would know where
Mm,
this person has worked, and would be able to derive much more to just that image. So yeah, that's amazing insight as well. Uh,
thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There are two aspects, right? In remote teams, and one which you covered is the skill of collaborating, right?
Mhm,
And that's very crucial. Let's assume they created a beautiful CV and wrote the right things in the cover letter. They came
mhm,
into the cultural round, and they got through. In the peer review, they had that amazing discussion, and then they got selected, right?
mm, mhm,
Now, just getting a job in itself is not sufficient, right? Because
mm.
you have to then succeed once you have gotten that job as well. Correct? So,
Yes.
and in remote, collaboration becomes difficult because in office you are sitting next to your boss or your
Mm,
peer. You can always reach out to them, hey, help me out here, right? But that doesn't
mm,
happen in remote. So, how
mhm.
do you guys collaborate, and what are the traits or are aspects required for people to succeed in a remote setting?
Yeah. Again, that's a good question, because the thing is, when you are in a remote setup, you, as you mentioned,